Rex Ryan has always been one of those NFL voices who isn't afraid to stir controversy. Bold, brash, and often unfiltered, he's known for saying exactly what he thinks, even when it lands him in hot water. But this time, he went too far. After publicly dismissing Shadur Sanders and questioning his right to even be in the quarterback conversation, Ryan suddenly flipped the script, praising Sanders and calling him the future of the Cleveland Browns. It was a complete 180, and the NFL world couldn't help but ask one question: what changed? At first, Rex Ryan was clear and unapologetic. He made it known that Joe Flacco, despite his age and declining performance, deserved the backup spot. He mocked the idea of Shadur Sanders even being in the conversation, dismissing him as unproven and unready. Ryan's tone wasn't analytical, it was sharp, dismissive, and personal. For a rising young quarterback still fighting to earn respect in the league, Ryan's comments cut deep. But as often happens in the world of sports media, the backlash came fast. Within hours of his remarks, fans, analysts, and former players began calling him out for his disrespect. They accused Ryan of targeting Sanders unfairly, especially considering the immense talent the young quarterback had already shown. The tide turned quickly, and so did Rex Ryan. Just a week later, Ryan appeared on national television with a completely different tune. Suddenly, he was calling Shadur Sanders one of the most talented young quarterbacks in the league. He wasn't criticizing the Browns for putting him on the roster, he was criticizing them for not starting him. In Ryan's words, the Browns were missing a golden opportunity to develop a potential franchise quarterback. He praised Sanders' leadership, composure, and accuracy, going as far as saying that Kevin Stefanski, the Browns' head coach, made a mistake by not elevating Shadur to the number 2 spot. It was a dramatic shift. The same man who had once questioned Sanders' readiness was now arguing that the Browns should build their future around him. But why the sudden change of heart? According to insiders, Rex Ryan's reversal wasn't born out of a new revelation. It was born out of backlash. NFL fans had made it clear that Ryan crossed a line. They weren't just defending Shadur Sanders because of his stats or potential. They were defending him because of what he represented. Sanders isn't just another quarterback. He's the son of Deion Sanders, a young player trying to carve his own legacy under immense pressure and scrutiny. To many, Rex's comments weren't just unfair, they were personal. Former NFL MVP Cam Newton was one of the first to call Ryan out. Speaking on his podcast, Newton didn't hold back. He slammed the Cleveland media and the league's double standards, saying that young black quarterbacks are constantly held to a different standard. "What are we doing?" Cam said. "Shadur, Sanders is being criticized not for how he plays, but for how he carries himself. You can't control people, and you shouldn't try. The same confidence that people celebrate in other quarterbacks is the same confidence they punish Shedeur for." Newton's comments hit a nerve, and he wasn't alone. NFL legend Michael Irvin joined the discussion, defending Sanders with passion. Irvin said it was absurd for Ryan to question Shedur's attitude or confidence. "If you doubt his confidence," Irvin said, "then you don't understand what makes great quarterbacks great. Every great one, from Brady to Mahomes, believed they were the best. Why should it be any different for Shadur?" The public pressure was immense. Analysts began replaying Ryan's words, dissecting every line, and the backlash reached all the way to NFL executives. Inside league offices, owners and commissioners took notice. Ryan's comments had gone beyond criticism. They were seen as damaging to the image of the league and unfairly targeting a young player still trying to prove himself. Reports began surfacing that Rex Ryan's job in media could be in jeopardy. Behind the scenes, even NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell was made aware of the situation. Sources claimed that Ryan's remarks had caught the attention of the league's top brass, and that some executives wanted disciplinary action taken. Suddenly, Ryan wasn't just fighting fans on social media, he was fighting to keep his career intact. Realizing the severity of the situation, Ryan began damage control. On his next broadcast, he made sure his tone was different, humble, respectful, and full of praise. He called Sanders a kid with unbelievable ability and said he just wanted to see him get a fair chance. He insisted that his comments weren't meant to be personal, but rather about giving young players the opportunity to prove themselves. He even went as far as to criticize Kevin Stefanski, saying the Browns' coaching staff was missing out by not giving Sanders meaningful reps behind Dylan Gabriel. To the public, it was clear what was happening. Rex Ryan was backpedaling. But for many fans, it was too little, too late. His sudden reversal came across as forced, not genuine, and it raised even more questions about the media's treatment of young players. Cleveland's head coach Kevin Stefanski didn't stay silent either. When asked about the situation, he firmly rejected the notion that Shadur Sanders wasn't working hard enough. "All of our players, including Shedeur, are putting in the work every single day," Stefanski said. "He's been doing everything we've asked of him. He's been dedicated, focused, and committed. That's what matters." That statement alone put Ryan's earlier comments in perspective. It showed that his criticisms weren't based on facts but assumptions. And in the NFL, that's a dangerous mistake. Behind the scenes, those close to the situation say Rex Ryan's words nearly cost him everything. Some NFL owners reportedly wanted him banned from future league media events, arguing that his behavior was unprofessional and harmful. According to one report, Goodell himself had to intervene to de-escalate the situation before it escalated into a full-blown media scandal. In the end, Ryan avoided punishment, but not the stain on his reputation. His credibility took a major hit, and his attempt to repair it by praising Shadur Sanders only made him look inconsistent. Fans could tell the praise wasn't born out of genuine respect, but out of necessity. Still, the incident served as a powerful reminder about how words can shape narratives, especially in today's NFL. A single careless statement can spiral into controversy, impact a player's image, and even threaten careers. And for a young quarterback like Shadur Sanders, the stakes are even higher. Every comment, every headline, and every take can influence how teams, fans, and executives see him. Ryan's flip-flop became a symbol of a larger issue in sports commentary: the rush to judgment. Too often, analysts speak before they know the full story, and when the backlash hits, they scramble to undo the damage. But by then, the narrative is already written. In this case, Shadur Sanders came out on top. Despite the noise, he kept his focus, continued working, and earned the respect of his teammates and coaches. Stefanski's words made it clear: the kid is doing everything right. He's not distracted by the headlines or the criticism. He's focused on his game, and that's exactly what the Browns need. As for Rex Ryan, this entire saga has become a lesson in humility. The man who once prided himself on being the loudest voice in the room learned what happens when that voice goes too far. In the NFL, criticism comes with power, but so does accountability. In the end, Ryan's attempt to rewrite the narrative only confirmed one thing: that Shadur Sanders doesn't need validation from anyone in the media. His work, his confidence, and his performance will speak louder than any analyst ever could. So the next time Rex Ryan or anyone else tries to question Shedur's ability, they might want to think twice. Because if there's one thing this controversy made clear, it's that in today's NFL, you can't silence talent, and you can't rewrite the truth once it's out there.